Okie dokie. Well, as you see here, me and my fractured index finger are struggling to hold these bottles, but you kind of already see what these are. This is Althair by Parfums de Marly, and these are the most popular current dupes for Althair. And I'm going to kind of do a little bit of a discussion about these and compare and contrast. Talk about the price points, performance, and so forth, and just kind of compare to see if any of them are better than the original. If it's worth, just go ahead and get in the original. That's kind of what I'm going to be doing today. But I didn't introduce myself. So I'm Douglas Moon. This is the Douglas Moon Fragrance Channel. I review all sorts of fragrances. You can't see it, but I've got an entire pretty decent sized collection here. I normally do bunches of like live streams on this channel when the non-busy life seasons are going on with me, the wife, and the kids. But right now, I definitely thought, even though I'm not normally a dupes or a top 10 type of person, that's not really my spiel. I figured I would do a little bit of a comparison because this one's been duped to all bejesus, and I thought I would just do a little bit of that. So thank you for watching. Let's get on into it. So to start with, I'm going to be talking about the actual original. This is $400 for 125 ml. I believe you can also get 75 ml for $290. Honest to goodness, technically speaking, for this or a tier of perfumery, I would say it's not the worst price in the entire world. I've paid quite a bit more for certain other smaller bottle sizes that you get than this, but again, what goes into it is kind of what decides, is it really worth. It's not just about performance, it's also about the quality of the materials that is used for the company, the production, all that stuff is what dictates whether or not it's actually worth the price. You don't care about all that stuff. I'm probably boring the crap out of you. Either way, I am who I am. Thank you for being here. But the top notes for this is orange blossom, bergamot, and cinnamon. Heart notes, bourbon, vanilla with elemi, or elemi, I don't know how to say that properly, I'm not professional. Gaiac wood at the base with ambrox, praline, and musk. So this is definitely a very gourmand fragrance. There's no getting around that. If you're looking for just a true to the core vanilla pod gourmand fragrance, that's kind of what this is. This is not a normal review, so I've already done a review for this in the past. If you want to go back and check that out, hopefully I can link that above or something like that. But I definitely enjoyed this. This was one of the original Parfums de Marly's that inspired me to start getting things from this house. I will say, I'm going to give you a very objective review on this because I've grown to really not like this. I do not care for this DNA at this point anymore. It's just been something I've been way too exposed to, and I actually gave this bottle away. My buddy Sam at work gave it back to me because he loves this one. This is like his signature scent, but this profile is just so basic vanilla pod to the point where it's beautiful, and I loved it so much at first, but I just don't care for it that much anymore. And then, by the way, before anybody comments and goes, we don't care, just get to the good stuff. Again, it's my channel. I do things the way I want to. I'm not trying to be popular here, just trying to be me, and I appreciate you guys who enjoy that, and I welcome you guys to leave your thoughts below, whether or not entertain them, whatever. Let's check out the atomizer. If you can actually see that, very decently dispersive. I love Parfums de Marly in general. Herod, Leighton exclusive, Oh John, stuff like that. Those are like some of my absolute favorites. But this one is just beautiful, but very, very basic for me to an extent that I just don't care to ever wear it. That's why I gave it away. But it is very robust, pretty dang strong for what it is. It's light, it's got floral qualities to it. The orange blossom is radiant with the vanilla, but it is true to the core, very much a vanilla pod fragrance. And to be completely honest, the performance of this is fantastic. It's not an absolute monster. Even like Leighton exclusive Herod and stuff has pretty decent radiance for a longer period of time. The longevity's good. You're looking at about 8 hours or so of like a general wear, although it's not coming off of you like in an extreme way that long. You're not getting massive sillage, but it's decent enough. But for me personally, I will say, although I'm very much not a dupe or cheapy person, this is one of the few fragrances ever that I can honestly probably go ahead and tell you now is better off going towards the cheapy side. So let's talk about some of the cheapies in comparison to this. So if you like pure vanilla pod fragrances, this is going to be for you. For me personally, it's not something I go towards, and it's just not my personal taste at this point, and it's also pretty expensive. So very well made, but I'm going to show you some stuff that I think if you want this, it's going to do you a better job. So basically, every last one of these dudes you see right here, don't worry about my finger. Like I said, it's fractured, so it's not part of the actual show, even though it's on camera. But all these guys right here, you've got Hot Lodge's Vanilla Dunes, French Avenue, French Avenue Liquid Brune, sorry, I'm not professional here. And then also you have Eagle Star by Sensual Obsessions. So each and every one of these has basically the same exact note profiles as the original Althair, and it's because the original Althair is such an incredibly simplistic, beautiful but simplistic vanilla pod floral orange blossom fragrance that stays excessively linear for most of the entire stay that it is on you. It was really, really easy to be duped, and not just duped, but duped extremely well. I normally really don't have a lot of respect for dupes. That's not my type of style. I think that in most cases it's just kind of a ripoff, depending on the quality. But these guys actually did an exceptional job. So I think to start with, the original more popular one that I noticed was Liquid Broom. So for me personally, just throwing this out there, I feel that this one is a little bit more of a youthful fragrance. In the entire bunch, it has just a little bit extra sweetness to it. So it's all of these I'm going to show you are, to be completely honest, dead on to the original scent profile. Like, they are a perfect match for the most part. There's like the mildest amount of differences. I think the only real thing you can kind of tell to some extent is a lightness due to the way that the blending of the orange blossom with the musk and everything was done with the original. This one's denser and heftier and more sticky of a feel in a way. Also, just letting you be known, all of these ones that I'm showing you now are roughly around $35 to $50. So this one right away is definitely more aggressively sweet and more hefty. So this one definitely has better performance than the original, which is unusual, again, for a lot of dupes and cheaper fragrances. But this one definitely knocks it out of the park when it comes to typical performance and longevity. I get a nice 9 to 10 hours of general skin wear, and clothing especially sticks to you like super glue. And this one, it also has really good radiancy that's more dense and outward of a wall than the original Althair. This is not my favorite. This is my least favorite of the entire bunch, just because for me personally, I do like things that have a little more floral and lightness to it while still keeping performance. This one overall, the Liquid Broom by French Avenue, is just too sweet and youthful, kind of like how I don't really care for Angel Share by Killian. If you ever watch my live streams, you'll hear me say I think it's well made but not my style. This one's definitely in that same ballpark, in the money of what you're looking for. If you want Althair but denser and more sweet, more youthful feeling, definitely French Avenue's Liquid Broom is probably the way you want to go. But I will show you what at one point in time was my favorite of the bunch. So let's do that now. So now we're going to be talking about Vanilla Dunes Island, or Island Vanilla Dunes by Hodlodge. This is, first and foremost, became very popular because it's definitely a much more beautiful bottle. I think in general this has a lot more of a lightness, a lot more of an airy. Still, actually, it's an extracted parfum, and it's fantastic performance, just like the original Liquid Broom. But this one has more of a insane atomizer, so not that that makes a huge difference, but we all like to see a good dispersive atomizer, although sometimes it can be almost maybe wasteful of the juice depending on how it disperses. But people were like going crazy on the social sites, of course, about that, because everybody loves that kind of stuff. It's kind of like a show-off thing. But let me see if you can see it here. I don't know if you're able to actually see, like, with the lighting and everything, but definitely much brighter, sweet, but a little bit closer to the original than the Liquid Broom was. Very, very, very much still powerful. A little bit still heftier than the original Althair. I actually like this one a lot. Out of all of the ones except for the next one that I'm going to get to, this one is like so if I was to say that the original Althair for me at this point is maybe like an 8 out of 10, just because price versus overall performance of density, I'll give it about I'll give it about 8 out of 10. I'd say Liquid Broom is more like an 8.5 because it's got better performance, way better price, but again, still a little bit too sweet for me. This one I will go all the way up to a 9 for, because it is incredible, it is powerful, and yet at the same time has that beautiful lightness quality to it, that floral quality that makes it something a bit more mature. Perhaps, not that, again, if you like Liquid Broom more, that's your speed, it's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Anybody can wear whatever they want. But for me personally, I prefer this one over. Again, the price range is exactly the same, so $35 to $40. You can't beat that because it's an extracted parfum. And the performance, again, compared to a lot of dupes and cheapies, this house seems to do pretty decent in general, but they knocked it out of the park. If you're looking for Althair for a budget and you're looking for fantastic performance and stuff, and just general radiancy, you can't go wrong with this. Although, again, it's not my style, but I will say for what it is, it's a 9 out of 10 for me personally. So definitely Liquid Broom, Hodlodge's Vanilla Dunes. This was the one that I was going for quite a while when I was still into this feel. But I am excited to talk about the next one for a couple of different reasons, but very impressed by it. So this one's going to be a 9 out of 10. Let's move forward. So last but not least, we're going to be talking about Eagle Star by Sensual Obsessions. So these guys are the only company ever. So I'm just going to go ahead and make this very, very clear. I do not review things and give things positive reviews because somebody sends me something. This is the only company that has ever actually sent me anything. I normally always buy every single fragrance that I get, and I have bought things by these guys. But this won me over because they're the only company ever. The reason I don't usually do sponsored videos and stuff is because every company so far that has reached out normally has a catch. Just like most of the popular dupes and cheapies companies and Middle Eastern fragrance companies on the cheaper end that you see on TikTok and all the crap that's being pushed, you'll always hear me complain on my channel about how everybody who's pushing that stuff is sponsored and paid, and they have to tell you that crap is good because they get good money for it and commission out of your purchases. You don't need to be pushed to impulse buy junk. I'm always going to take time out of my videos to complain about that kind of stuff. If you don't like it, that's okay. Lots of other channels out there for you. Again, I'm Douglas Moon. I can do what I want. But not trying to run people off and be abrasive, but I want to be honest. It's your money and you need to spend it responsibly. This, on the other hand, these guys from Florida, Central Obsessions, he was honest with me. He straight up said, listen, I want to send you stuff. I want you to try it, and you can even do videos if you don't like it. You can say if it's not your style. And I had a huge amount of respect for that because, again, other companies that I will leave unnamed were not like that at all. It was either, well, after they had to tell me I had to agree to things, certain things, then there was no more communication. When I said I won't, he was the only person that ever did that. So fantastic people, very honest right away. And with that being said, this fragrance is like dead on. And yet, for me personally, it very much impressed me because they have serious integrity in what they do. The atomizer is, ironically, way better. So, I don't know if you can see that ridiculous density. But the smell, perfectly dead on. But it is literally in the middle of Liquid Broom and Vanilla Dunes. That's why I liked it so much. When I got it and I smelled it, because he was like, I really want you to see, because at that time, Althair was like really popping. Vanilla Dunes, Liquid Broom was really popping. He sent it to me. I hate that I waited so long to do this because I've talked about it a lot during streams, but I did not do this video until now. But it really blew my mind how it was perfectly right there where I wanted it to be. So it maintained the ultimate balance of that orange blossomy floral feel that I love so much from the original, that has a luxury quality to it, while still having a little bit more of a dense, sweeter feel, closer to Liquid Broom, a little bit more sweeter and dense than you get from Vanilla Dunes. So it's right there in the middle for me in a way that I really loved the balance. So for me, I definitely can say this is more of that 9.5. So I leave it that way because none of them are for me. At the end of the day, they're not my style. I don't like this fragrance as a whole. So that's just me being honest. Again, if you disagree, you're more than welcome to tell me in the comments, and that's fine. But same price, like I think $40. It is an extrait de parfum, pretty well concentrated, and all their stuff is. But again, they don't sponsor me. That's the thing. Like, I mean, in a way, like, they've sent me stuff and he's cool with me reviewing things, and I'm going to be doing some other stuff of theirs. So this is not a sponsored video, but I'm proud to say that honest people who make good things that they're passionate about did a good job at it. And it's got like that perfect balance for me. So this one I'm going to do a 9.5 out of 10. Eagle Star by Sensual Obsessions. Scent smelled like scent that you smell. This one blew me out of the water. I really, really love the atomizer. I love that it's also like that. I think it probably is acrylic, but it still has a nice glassish feel to it. So I really like the bottles, but they're also sincere people, and they actually like people to tell them the truth with their reviews, and they reformulate based around that, and I have a lot of respect for that. But that doesn't dictate whether or not the fragrance is the best. I'm just saying, me personally, I liked it the most, and that's why I've waited for a while to continue to have exposure to it to see if I really mean that, and I do. So I can honestly say, for me, Eagle Star by these guys, Sensual Obsessions, is my favorite of all the Althair dupes because it just has that same one-to-one almost, like right there at the original, but the density is fantastic, the performance is fantastic, so you do in fact get that 10 to 12 hours of general wear like you would get pretty much from the Vanilla Dunes, but it's just a little bit more rich, but not too much so like I get from Vanilla Dunes. A little almost headache inducing from the Vanilla Dune, from the Liquid Broom. They get so confusing. Vanilla Dunes, Liquid Brooms. Thankfully, Eagle Star is a little bit different. But yeah, my name is Douglas Moon. I'm sorry that I can be so talky sometimes. I guess I'm not really sorry for being myself, but I know that it's not for everybody. But I wanted to do this comparison because there is so many things being duped out there, but Althair is definitely one of those ones that's been duped a lot. And you have too much to pick from, and sometimes it can be a little difficult. So just to run through this one more time, to be a little bit more specific, out of the entire batch, Vanilla Dunes, or excuse me, oh my gosh, I did it again. Liquid Broom. I try to leave these as unedited as possible, being very sincere. Liquid Broom by French Avenue. This is the much more dense, more youthful, rich type of feel to it. Think of it in the same way as we'd think of Paco Rabanne 1 Million Elixir being a very, very youthful fragrance. Something like that, but not in the same scent profile. Just, you get what I mean. So the much more dense, rich feel, much more youthful feel. And then Hod Lodge's Vanilla Dunes, you're looking at that much more mature, bright, still like highly floral type of feel, much more lift to it. A little bit better performance in a certain type of different way. So a more radiancy in a beautiful way versus a density, but at the same time, also a little bit too light for my taste almost. Fantastic price nonetheless. And then lastly, Eagle Star by Sensual Obsessions, my personal favorite of the bunch. Again, truly, not because they sent me this, they're not paying me for this whatsoever. I love the guys, and I know that again, it's like, why would you trust somebody who says that? So I get it. I understand if you don't trust me, that's fine. But I do really have a lot of respect for these people, and I think that they're very sincere about what they're doing. And the scent profile, like I said, was much more perfect, right in that balance of the floral with the sweetness, and just really all across the board, I really enjoyed it. It's the best way to put it. So 9.5 for me in that order. And also all of them $35 to $40. So thank you guys for watching. Thank you for enduring my babbling. And at the end of the day, I still think that there's a place if you just want to have the original because it's Parfums de Marly. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But it is so duped so much, and to me, honestly, better done. Anytime that a dupe is reformulating and better than the original, then you have to have a lot of appreciation for it. The concentrations are higher and the rest of them. This is an eau de parfum. If you just absolutely want the original, that's fine. But again, $400 versus $35 to $40, it's kind of hard to beat. So that's me. This is the video. Lots more stuff coming you guys' way. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch. Please leave your thoughts and opinions in the comments below. I know this was a little bit more long-winded than what I normally would do, but it is what it is when you're trying to do these comparison videos and just do your thoughts off the cuff. It just is what it is. But I'm Douglas Moon. I appreciate you guys. You're welcome here anytime in the world, and God bless each and every one of you. And I'll see you next time.